Hi everyone, it's Laura, and sorry it's been so long since I have vlogged, but I have been super busy for the past month, just finishing up summer quarter. I was in clinic, so I couldn't really record in clinic, and then I was moving, and I have been making videos. They just haven't been for my vlog channel, they've been for my national ANESTHESIA position. But yeah, now I have more free time and I'm starting to get my life back together. But basically, to catch everyone up to speed, I finished summer quarter mid-July, and then from mid-July up until the first week of August, my whole class was in clinic with the 4th years, and we were assisting them in clinic, and we just finished our local anesthesia course, and so we got to give injections to patients, the 4th year's patients, and it's been great. I also got some footage during our local anesthesia practice on our classmates, and so I'll be posting that later at the end of the vlog after the Q&A. So in the last vlog that I posted, I asked you guys if you had any questions about my first year of dental school experience to post them in the comments, and I got a whole bunch of them, so I'm gonna try to answer as many as I can without dragging on this video too long. But yeah. So let's get into it. All right, so first question is, which classes were most helpful to you in undergrad or would have been helpful to your first year of dental school? For sure, human anatomy or any anatomy class would have been really helpful just to get used to the terminology, also where things are in the body, because when you're doing dissections, or when I was doing dissections, I had not taken anatomy during undergrad, and so I was completely clueless when we started working on cadavers. And yeah, anatomy would have been the most helpful, I think, for first year for me. Oh, another course that would have been really helpful is microbiology. When we got to our immunology microbiology unit during first year, microbiology would have been really helpful. I did take upper level micro classes during undergrad, and so that was really helpful. Okay, next question is, how long did you usually spend studying first year versus what you've heard the upperclassmen had to put in? It really depends because everyone studies differently. Some people in my class study every single day, some people just procrastinate. I'm kind of in the middle. I'll ask the upperclassmen that I know, hey, how is this class? How much do you need to study for it? I think I would say about the same as the upperclassmen, but also our curriculum is kind of changing every single year, and so the courses aren't exactly the same either. But I would say I would put in just as much work as the upperclassmen say to study. Okay, so the next two questions are kind of similar, so I'll just kind of combine the answers. How was it adjusting to first year, and how much harder is dental school than undergrad? I'd say it was pretty similar to just starting college. The only thing is that I took a gap year, and so I wasn't used to being in school for a whole year, but it was a nice change. I felt refreshed, I felt ready to go. And so adjusting wasn't too hard. It was just normal, starting school again. Comparing it to undergrad, I would say the course load is definitely a lot more. In undergrad, I just took 12 to 15 credits per quarter. In dental school, you're taking at least 20, 26. But even though the coursework and the material that we're learning is more difficult, I think it's just because it's all new material and dental related, whereas in undergrad, you would take biology, biochem, chem, and they all overlapped. But in dental school, it's kind of you're taking perio, you're taking operative, you're taking all these different courses that you are completely brand new to. So it's kind of not necessarily harder, it's just a lot more to learn. Okay, so the next question is, any study tips you can give in terms of balancing all of the subjects? Prioritize your time. Also, make study guides with your friend group or your classmates, whoever you study with, because study guides help a lot. Also, just make sure to prioritize the amount of time that you spend studying for each class, because if you're really good in one class, then you don't need to study for as much as another class that you might be struggling a little bit more in. What do you wish you knew or did before entering your first year? I wish that I had assisted in a dental office before entering dental school, because my classmates who did assist, they definitely have a lot more chairside experience, and so they already knew how to break down rooms and clean them, and also they're familiar with the instruments, they're familiar with some of the terminology, and so definitely wish that I assisted. If you could do D1 again, what would you do differently? Study more or less, get more involved, etc. I would have studied more. Yeah, some classes I got a little bit lazy in, wish that I studied more, but it turned out okay. So I really don't have any super big regrets, but if I were to redo it, then I could study more. What are some of the successes and failures you've had as a D1? So I have had lots of failures. I don't necessarily show all of them because I don't always have my camera and I'm not always recording when a failure happens. But some of the, I'll start with failures, I guess. So failures is, I have had to remediate tests and I've had to like retake it or just go into office hours and talk to my professor about the answers that I got wrong. So that was definitely a failure for me because I had never failed any tests before ever. And failing my first dental school test was hard to accept and also very shocking, but totally okay because dental school is hard. Sometimes you'll just have off days, which is what I realized. Waxing, I didn't have a technique down for the longest time, so I would just like struggle and got really frustrated. Eventually learned how to wax by asking upperclassmen for their tips, and they showed me, and just practice and practice and practice. Some successes I've had as a D1 is I think I got really involved. I got to know a lot of upperclassmen. I got to network with ANESTHESIA leaders at the national level and some ADA members as well. Getting through my first year of dental school, because it's been the hardest year of school I've ever had. So that's a success for me. What have been some of your favorite things to learn and do? So first year for us was mostly didactic. Like we didn't start operative until our last quarter of school. And so I would say operative is definitely a favorite of mine. I really like drilling teeth. We just learned local anesthesia and how to give that, and so I really like giving local anesthesia also. I think just in general, the lecture and the didactic stuff, it wasn't so much my favorite just because it's just regular school stuff, but the actual hands-on clinical stuff is the stuff that I really like to do. All right, so the last question that we have is, was first year harder than you thought, or do you think it was easy to get the hang of? I would say first year was actually easier than I thought it would be. Also a lot more fun than I thought it would be, because I thought it was mostly gonna be didactic stuff and just lectures, but waxing, drilling, doing the hands-on stuff, going out in the community for community service, all made it a really, really good experience for me, and I think I had a pretty good first year of dental school. Just some general advice for incoming D1s, make sure to take time off for yourself before you start school. Whether that means taking a gap year or just taking a trip in between the month you graduate and when you start dental school, I say take a vacation, go on a trip, do something fun, because you won't have that much time when you start dental school to do stuff like that. Also, like I said before, make sure to try to get some assisting experience, or if you don't have the time to work as an assistant, make sure that when you're shadowing, you really ask your dentist questions about what they're doing and why, and just kind of observe their procedures that they do and how they do it. Definitely have a hobby in dental school. Mine would be vlogging and also working out. And so I think those two things have kept me so sane during my first year of dental school and really helped with the stress relief and stuff like that. But other than that, yeah, D1 was freaking awesome, and I'm so excited to be a D2 now and start D2 vlogs. So I actually have some footage from local anesthesia when we first gave shots to each other, and so I actually didn't get any footage of me giving local to my partner because I ended up being the guinea pig both times, and so I went first and didn't get footage, but I do have footage of Philip giving injections to me, and so I guess I will play that and end the vlog. Today we'll be giving local anesthesia for the very first time. We're doing maxillary injections, and yeah, everyone is super anxious right now. It's lunchtime. We're just chilling before we go into the clinic. Are you excited?
Yeah, I'm gonna inject that guy.
Wow.
Let's do it. Gown.
You ready?
Alright, so we're in the clinic right now. There's no patients in here, just us second years. And we're taking over the operatories and we're gonna inject soon. Quick OOTD. These scrubs are from Janu. They're super cute. They're black. Joggers. Tie up our hair. Hi Danielle. How are you feeling?
So scared.
Alright, update.
Laura?
I ended up going first, so I didn't get any footage
Oh my god.
of me injecting. I'm so sweaty right now. This is my first patient, Philip. You probably know him because he makes fun of me all the time, and I gotta inject him today. How was it?
I've never experienced pain like that.
I actually did it painlessly. We did one maxillary infiltration above his premolar.
PSA?
We did a PSA, which
You
is
did
a
a PSA.
posterior superior alveolar block. And then we did a GP, which is greater palatine.
And now Laura's on the hot
And
seat.
now it's my turn. FYI, I've never had a cavity before, so I actually don't know what it feels like to have a needle poked in my mouth. And I'm so scared. Okay, bye. I feel like he's gonna be evil.
Hashtag drill and poo.
He's gonna be evil and hurt me. JK. His dad's an anesthesiologist, so I'll be fine.
My mom's a family doc. My mom was an anesthesiologist.
It runs in the family.
Did
His Instagram's Drill and Phil. I'll link it below. Alright, so first experience, debrief is, this is my first time ever holding the actual syringe, and so I wish that I would have known how to do that, because it took like a minute or two to get used to.
this, and then you need a rest, right?
Yes, we always use our pinky for a fulcrum.
So when you
Also, Philip, want to share that?
stretch the tissue a lot,
Stretch the tissue a lot. Because, why?
so it doesn't hurt as much.
So it doesn't hurt as much.
Sorry, at all. Even less.
Yes. So when I was like trying to pull his cheek back, I wasn't pulling hard enough, which is bad because the skin's not as taut. And so it makes it hurt. This is Ryan, he's a third year.
Hi.
Hi.
This is a video.
Yeah. Do you have any tips for giving local?
We're doing local.
Yeah.
Know what you're injecting into. Stay calm and don't poke yourself.
Wow, what a pro. Another tip is when you're doing the greater palatine, when I was doing it, I wasn't putting enough pressure on his hard palate, and so you need to do that to numb up that area a little bit. Here we go. So the first one we're gonna do is a buccal infiltration on my premolar, and I only have one because I got my second one extracted. Put in topical on first to get me a little bit numb.
You never had topical.
I've had a little bit of topical.
Looks great. Okay. So backward.
All right, so I'm officially numb on my upper right side. When I smile, oh, you can't really tell. It's so weird. I've never been numb before. What a weird feeling. But Philip did a really good job. We're just waiting for our instructor to watch him do the greater palatine vibulars. Thank you, Martha, for helping us.
Thank you.
She was so good. How was it? It was good. It was good. Yeah, for both of us, it was just hard getting our hand placement right and like not feeling awkward. So that'll get better with time. Yep. So I just finished working out. It was kind of weird having my face be numb, like half my face be numb, but most of the numbness and the anesthesia has worn off by now. And so I'm feeling closer to normal. So it's another day in stab lab. It is the next Friday, and today we're doing mandibular injections. And yeah, we're doing the IA, lingual, and buccal nerve block today. And I already actually injected my partner, Philip. Didn't get to record again, but now he's gonna inject me, and we'll get some footage of that.
Thank you. Good job. Oh, stop. Just like.
So that is it for this vlog. Thanks so much guys for watching and being patient with me uploading like over a month later. But now I have more time, I'm definitely gonna be vlogging more and just making videos more in general, so watch out for that. If you haven't subscribed to my channel already, please do, and please give this video a thumbs up if you thought it was useful or interesting. But yeah, that is it for now, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!